Welcome to the Secret Life of Nuns. I'm blowing the torch trumpet for the Oxford Research Centre for the Humanities because what I want to convince you today is the idea that living in a convent as medieval nun had similarities to taking the lift up to the upper floor in this building. You entered a world of learning where all the humanities joined together, like in this torch, symbol of the different strands coming together. So I'm taking you on a tour to some of the remarkable monastic houses in northern Germany, which are still extant today, starting with the cover girls. Here they come from the convent of Lüne. Lüne is part of Lüneburg. So if you see this square, this reaches from about Hamburg down to Hanover. And this region, which was the Duchy of Braunschweig-Lüneburg, has this remarkable network of monasteries which are still extant today. So the nuns you see on the right-hand side are the abbesses of the monasteries today. And it's very much recommended to go and visit. I still remember as a 5-year-old girl, we moved to Lüneburg and I was completely bowled over, entering through the narrow entrance into this inner courtyard, which you see on the right-hand side. It's a photograph I took a couple of Christmases ago, and which still has the building standing, which you see on the painting to the left-hand side, which is hanging up on the nuns' choir, and which shows the convent as it was in the 16th century, in the process of becoming a Protestant Benedictine community. And the remarkable thing is that these nuns shapeshifted through the centuries. The closest analogy is probably Oxford colleges, which have shapeshifted through the centuries from monastic foundations to the communities we have today, but have never lost their central purpose of being a community of studying and learning. So I'm going to take you to see what nuns were studying in the 15th century, taking examples from 3 convents. First, Kloster Lüne, then Kloster Ebsdorf, and then Kloster Wienhausen. I've circled these 3. I'll start you off as a teaser with something that a nun noted down, an anonymous nun, on the flyleaf of a book in the library, in the code mixing language which the nuns were probably speaking among themselves, a bit like Denglish. If you were to listen to colleagues of mine, German native speakers and me, talking among each others about Oxford exam regulation, you would hear a similar code-switching language. Salutis ad preludium sit artis nobis studium, wohlan die Schriftforstan, quosine stat in otio claustralis heu devotio, nicht lesen is Öveldan. Even though non-German speakers might understand it because it's Low German, so closer to English than standard modern High German. And what I've combined here are some of the findings we have from the nuns, lost through the cracks of the nuns' choir in Wienhausen. So we have there the oldest spectacles in the world, preserved from the 14th century, and on the top you have pointers, little sticks with which to read, which you can see being used here by the nun who tries to decipher music by going along note by note to this. So you should study because it's evil not to do so. What they actually studied can we see from the letters that are extant from Kloster Lüne. So currently, a colleague of mine, Eva Schlotheuber, and I are editing 1,800 letters which have been preserved from between the period of 1480 to 1550. And they cover everything. They cover bills, they cover complaints, they cover letters of consolation written to the families. They also preserve some of the essays that the young nuns had to write. So, like Oxford students, they had to write a weekly Besinnungsaufsatz or Latin composition, not only prose but also verse composition. So, in this letter, which they probably were told to send to their provost for Whitsun, they explain in verse the spiritual properties of wine. So they have different types of wine, have different properties. You can see all these letters online. If you just Google Lüne letters, you will be able to see them with a short English summary. And there the nuns talk self-deprecatingly about themselves as oviculae, little lambs, and Philia, who sent the Xenia vel minuscula. And they write to the provost in Latin. So rhetoric, one of the 7 liberal arts, was studied, but first you had to learn grammar. So I haven't put a picture here on the grammar books, but we have these from the convent of Ebsdorf, which still has its complete monastic library. My college is St. Edmund Hall, and there in the old library we have the complete set of books, the curriculum of the late 17th century, because the library was built in 1690. And it's astonishing how similar the curriculum is to what these girls would have learned in the 15th century, including quite advanced music theory. So they had obviously to learn music to be able to sing the hours, chanting, but they learned above and beyond the theory behind intervals. The Guido hand was used by the cantrix, the schoolmistress who would teach the chants by pointing to different elements of the finger to indicate whether to go up or to go down. But this is combined with a charming image of what it really means to learn, because it's like raising little chicks. Here you see the stork couple, they are feeding worms to their young, and in the same way the older nun is feeding bit by bit this theological and music knowledge to the nuns. But music wasn't just used for these intellectual exercises, but could also be used productively to write satire. So I brought you as third example from Kloster Wienhausen, the songbook of, so Andrew, do come in. Oh, sorry. Thank you. Because Andrew is one of the colleagues, Andrew Dunning from the medieval manuscript department who has been recording with me some of these songs from the songbook, which contain some mystical songs such as this, asking to lift up your cross and follow Christ as his bride. But it also includes satirical texts written in the same code-mixing lingo, where the nuns make fun of the male clergy, who is much less educated than they are. And so this is here on the page, and we see above some of the words bis written, showing that it was to be sung twice, and above other things, a chorus. So it would have been sung by the nuns when doing manual work in an antiphonal setting. So I thought I would do that with you, so to have a little bit of interactive fun. So this is a song about the little donkey who wants to become a priest, to be rich, and not to have to do anything. So, and he thinks he can just do it because he knows the basic elements of learning. So what I'll do is I'll sing it, and this whatever is in yellow is repeated, and if you don't get it the first time, you'll get it. It has 4 verses. I'm sure you'll get it by the 4th repetition. Azellus in der Mola, na Mola von sim Herrn, Präsumpserat den Skola, he wollt sin Lexje lernen. Magister Bonadies, der Eselsbrak mit Lewe, Pax intervals et quies, ik leerde gerne breve. Everybody. Pax intervals et quies, ik leerde gerne breve. Komm, komm, Esel ist dumm, sprich Latein, du bist nicht dumm. Vissacus oblivissi, Vissacus oblivissi. Ach, ach, gut gemacht, woll ich wünschen all den Tag, sie possem adipissi, sie possem adipissi. Sirem Alphabetum, von Stund wollt ich studieren, jus legem et decretum, danach mocht ich plädieren. Pro magna prebenda, ich do Chore singe, dum clamo, vox est ea, de Sack schall mich nicht wingen. Everybody. Dum clamo, vox est ea, de Sack schall mich nicht wringen. Leer, sehr, Esele, sehr, du wirst doch wohl ein großer Herr. Mux pot ist doctrinari, mux potes doctrinari. Sing, sing, Esele kling, dat wart noch gut Malleding. Si vis presbyterari, si vis presbyterari. Si essem tam beatus, dat ik een Priester wurde, hic esset deo gratus, de mine misse horde, de in de predicarem, grot afflat wollt ik geven, ut saccus non portarem, so wollt ik sachte leben, ut saccus non portarem, so wollt ik sachte leben. Do, du, de mal so, gatto chore singe ho, nam vox est tibi bona, nam vox est tibi bona. Ja, ja, da hat ich gar, wenn ich ober missen sta, portanto mehedona, portanto mehedona. And just to interpret, here you see donkeys in German say ia, which is spelled in German I-A. It's like the hee-haw. So this ia, which means yes in German, is also an imitation of the donkey's bray. And so he can read 2 vowels, namely I and A. And, so he is reading it from a lectern, while the equally talented fox is singing with a mouth open and pulling a bell string and shaking the incense. Good. Now, the sad end of the story. How does it go with the learned donkey? Hic missam dum cantavit, do kam der Esel driver, hunc fuste verba ravit, wo wurst du nun entschriever, cur decepis sic plebis, wohlher, Lob in de Molen, saccus portare debis, beide Schleppen und de Sohlen, saccus portare debis, beide Schleppen und de Sohlen. Ach, hätt ich doch, säcke Dragen wandten noch, tunk esset mich Swabe. Vorwahr. So that's now the moral of the story. Wertet dem Swar, der Schalup sehnen ulden Jahr, Pontus portare grave. And this is why you should start learning Latin and grammar early. Otherwise, you have to go back to the mill or back to square one and start carrying heavy burden instead of taking in great indulgences. To finish, the space in which the nuns were, for them was, I wanted to show it because it has such a nice vaulting, a bit like the Humanities Center vaulting, but painted by the nuns themselves with the whole universe. And the Chronicle notices that it were 3 nuns, all called Gertrud, who painted the choir. And the Chronicle notes it down, not because it was astonishing that women painted, but just because it was a fun fact that all 3 of them were called Gertrud. And if you see what they painted above the door, you can see it's the heavenly Jerusalem guarded by 2 angels. And the heavenly Jerusalem has a Treppengiebel, a gable that with stepped elements, and it has a high choir with high Gothic windows. It has a lower east end. And if you compare that to Wienhausen itself, you'll see that it's actually a fairly faithful depiction of their own building. So, sorry, it's reacting slowly.
And Henrike, this is the stork's nest, isn't it? So there are actually storks, like you showed earlier.
So it's really they're taking into their learning their own environment. It's a comment on how they perceived their environment. So they are actually singing and studying already in paradise. I just included for fun a trailer that I did to promote the book I based on it, where I recorded it in Godstow Abbey. So, have anybody been Godstow? Yeah. So just north of Port Meadow, and this is a convent that in the Middle Ages would have been as powerful and as richly endowed as Wienhausen. But the only thing that is left is now a little side chapel and the surrounding walls. So if you want to learn about the secret life of nuns, go and read the German sources and study the monastic environment. Then you can enter together with the nuns into the core of the humanities. Many thanks. If anybody is interested, the book is open access available if you just scan the QR code. There's also, I did a book at lunchtime talk which is online. So if you just Google book at lunchtime, where I talked a bit more about it than was possible now. Thank you. Team Nuns.